All right, we're going to finish up geometric sequences. We are on example 5, modeling real life. All right, so the question says, clicking the zoom out button on a mapping website doubles the side length of the square map. After how many clicks on the zoom out button is the side length of the map 640 miles? So we have to look at this and try to understand what we are looking at. So here's our table. We looked at this in the last video, so I'll put this on here as a reminder. Key idea, this is the equation for a geometric sequence. This is the section that we're working on, so more than likely, this is what we're going to be looking at. But let's look at the table. So our x values, our zoom out clicks, we can call this x, goes 1, 2, 3, so this increases by 1. The side length in miles of the map is 5, 10, 20. All right, so this is going to double each time. So how do I double it? 5 times 2 is 10. 10 times 2 is 20. Remember, if you do 10 divided by 5, you get 2, or 20 divided by 10 gives you 2 as well. So all of that to say, our common ratio is 2. All right, it also gives us our initial value. So it says the first click is 5. All right, so if you look here, our equation is a sub n. So we're looking for the nth term. Our first term is 5. Our common ratio is 2. And we're going to raise that to the n minus 1 power. All right, so now that we've kind of got an equation, we've got it set up. That's the main thing, being able to find your equation. All right, so it says after how many clicks on the zoom out button is the side length of the map 640. So it says, when is it 640? So it's given us the side length. So you see the side length is your y value. So in this case, it's our a sub n. So we know that this is going to be 640 equal to 5 times 2 raised to the n minus 1 power. All right, so what does that do for us? That gives us an equation, and we can set this up so that we can use our calculators to graph it and see. So we can say y equals 640 and y equals 5 times 2 to the n minus 1. And we know these two things are equal. So in the previous lesson, we learned that if we have two equations, we can find the intersection point. And the intersection point will be the solution. So let's get the calculator and graph these equations. All right, we're going to have y equals 640. And then we're going to have y equals 5 times 2. And we're going to raise that to the n minus 1. And we can use x for n. It's just a variable. X is the most commonly used thing here in the calculator. It says x, t, theta, n. All of those variables kind of are in that same button right there. So now we can hit graph. And let's see what our window looks like. All right, we still have this set on 22,000 from a previous thing. So we need to go up to at least 640 so we can see that. So let's say 650. And we don't need a scale of 100 now. Let's use a scale of, let's say, 10. And let's see now what the graph looks like. All right, so that horizontal line, we know y equals 640. That's our horizontal line here. And then y equals 5 times 2 raised to the n minus 1. That is this line here. So what we need to find is this intersection point, and whatever the n value is will be our answer. So let's do second trace, which is calculate. So we want to do intersection. We're going to do 5. So you see it blinking right here. Let's get over a little closer. All right, we want to get somewhere close to the intersection point here, and I'm going to hit enter. And then it says second curve, so we have to go somewhere to the left of it or the other side of the intersection point. Now it says all right, for some reason I had to click that several times. Let's see, I'm going to try that again. Intersect. So first curve, enter. Second curve, enter. Guess and then intersect. Okay, so 8, 640. So that's where the two lines intersect. So 8 and 640. So that means when n is 8, that means 8 clicks on zoom means the side length of the map will be 640. So A to sub n equals 640. So A 8 equals 640. All right, another quick way to check that, you can go back to your calculator and you can look at your table of values. So if you go to your table of values, come down to 8, and you can see that both y1 is 640 and y2 is 640. So you know that they intersect at that point, which would mean that is your solution. All right, that's all for example 5. If you have any questions, please let me know.